I tell him sometimes, I said, Lord, I need your help. I can make it by myself. Put your hand. Somebody raise your hand. I need your help. I can make it by myself. Lord, put your hand. Then I get by myself. I tell them, don't leave it. Don't leave it.
Well, hello there, my brothers and sisters. How you doing? It's another beautiful day because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will, of course, rejoice and be glad in it. We welcome you to the Tuesday's edition of Loretta Coleman Live. Now, tonight we have a very interesting conversation, very interesting conversation. We're going to talk about leaving the past behind. Leaving the past behind, the unforgiveness, the hate, the grudges. We talk about this a lot, but how many of us are really doing it? How many of us are really putting forth an effort to let that go where somebody has hurt us, where somebody has damaged us? Um, how many of us are trying? Hello to you. What is that? Omanda? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so very much. And thank you, Cynthia, for tuning in as well. And those of you who will be popping on later on, those of you who are on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope. We welcome you. Our guest tonight will be none other than my dear friend, Miss Dana Simmons, a young lady who has witnessed a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight. And I asked her, I said, come on and share with us on tonight, because as many people, we need many people that share their different stories, and you that are tuned in. Hey, Yolanda. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Many people that will tune in, we welcome your testimonies. We welcome your input as well. We realize a lot of people will go back and they will view this. This segment tonight is a self-help segment, not a segment, not a them segment, but a self-help segment. How you doing, Miss Johnson? This is all about us and our relationship with God. Um, do we have any unforgiveness lingering in our heart? Do we have anybody that we're holding a grudge against? Do we have somebody that we don't want to forgive? We know that we have to forgive. Hello, Miss Mabel. We know that we have to forgive, but do we have somebody in our life that we haven't forgiven? Hello, Benny. How you doing? Um, Marcretia, I think. Well, let's say Missy Pooh. Missy Pooh, thank you for joining us. But anyway, Dana, welcome to Loretta Coleman Live.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you tuning in joining us on tonight. This is a hot topic. And if we would do the self check as we're going, as we're having conversation, if we will see where do we stand in these topics. You don't have to tell us in the comment box. This is something between you and God. If you want to share, you can, but you don't have to. She laughed at the way I call her name, so Missy Pooh, we just gonna say Missy Pooh. But in these days and times, you have family that's not talking to each other. You have children that are not respecting parents. You have siblings that hadn't talked to each other since the parents died and the will didn't go the way that they wanted it to go. You have all kind of things. You have people that go to church every Sunday and they can't even talk to the person that's sitting the next row over because they've done something to them 10, 15 years ago that they have not forgotten, and they're letting it linger on. But ladies and gentlemen, I decided to do this tonight. I'm going to be sharing a lot of my testimony as well. Because all of us, ain't none of us on Facebook, ain't none of us on Facebook who hadn't been betrayed. None of us. Hello, Helen. How you doing? It's none of us, Cynthia, on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Periscope. None of us that have not been betrayed by somebody. It's none of us on here that's tuned in, that's listening, that we're listening, that haven't been hurt by somebody. But what are we going to do with that hurt? After we get over the initial shock that it happened, and we go through the pity parties, and we go through the hurt, and we go through the pain, are we going to continue to carry it with us? or what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Dana, so many times what we do, we carry it with us. We let it weigh us down. We let it stop us from doing what we know God has called us to do. And one of the first things that we say, because I've said it, I'm not going to trust nobody else. I'm not going to trust nobody else because it seems like those you trust hurt you the most. But then are we going to let that damage what we know God called us to do? How do you feel about that?
Personally, because I have been hurt myself of many occasions. Like we said, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Mhm.
Um, and I find out we hold on to hurt. When we've got past it, we find ourselves holding on to it. I don't know what it's like negative energy to her. Some people say it's a reminder of what we've been through and what not to do, but it's hard to just let it go sometimes. And I'm gonna say it, I'm being honest for myself. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about myself. It's
Mhm.
sometimes hard to just let go because you can't. It's like you said, it's a shock. We look at the situation of the person, what they did. Like, what they did this to me, and
Mhm.
when they do it, you're surprised they did it.
Mhm.
So you kind of sit back like, and you ponder over it so long till you find yourself still holding on to that.
Mhm.
And that's why I can say we can let it go, but it's a graduation. It's almost like we got to be graduate level by level to let it go. We can't just, because we're human. Flesh holds on to a little bit longer than what we should, but we hold on more than we should. And I feel as a graduate, we got to graduate out of that hurt.
Mhm. Mhm.
We have to graduate out of it. I've been to a place where I can say, I forgive them. That's out of my mouth, out of my
Mhm.
mouth. But when
Mhm.
I see them, it's like, I remember
Mhm.
when they did this, did that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like it resurfaces all over.
Mhm. Okay, I'm glad you said that. If it comes up when you see that person, if it keep coming up and you got that bubbly feeling
Mm-hmm.
inside of you, you have not forgiven that person.
That's
I
deep.
wrote a book called We Forgive with Our Lips, but not with our heart.
Yes.
We say we forgive with our mouth,
Mm-hmm.
but in our heart, has we really forgiven that person?
That's true. That's true.
No. I asked a pastor today, I said, why is it easy for us to remember a person past and won't let them go on and embrace the future?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we talk about a person's future versus going back talking about something that they did 20 years ago, something they did 30 years ago?
Ooh.
Does it hurt when somebody betray us? Yes. Does it sting us? Yes. Does it make it us not want to trust other people? Yes. Do it make us want to say, I ain't going to church no more because them people over there ain't this and it ain't that? Yes. It makes us say all of that. But I have a question for Facebook and all of you and Dana.
Yes.
How does God feel when we tell him we ain't gonna do something and we keep doing it over and over?
Over and
When
over.
we hurt him,
Ha.
when we hurt him and we disappoint him, we say, God, if you get me out of this situation, I'm not going to get back here again. God,
Mm-hmm.
if you deliver me from this, I'm not going there again. God, if you bless me with a good job, I'll pay my tithe. God, if you bless me with a new car, I'll go to church. How do you think God feels when we make him promises over and over and over and we don't keep them?
It hurts. It hurts him like it hurt us because we are his children. We his
Mm-hmm.
babies. And he
Mm-hmm.
looking at us like, oh, did she just say that to me today? But then yet she's looking for a blessing from me. Is she still holding on to the something of letting stuff hold her down? And yet she says she's forgiven and she's moving on with her life. And yeah, God looks at us like, why, Dana? I'm gonna say that believe me, I beat up on myself so much about what I need to let go. When I know God said let it go or get
Mm-hmm.
past it or move on, but you want a
Mm-hmm.
blessing from me, but yet you're
Mm-hmm.
still doing that number right there. Like we
Mm-hmm.
greed. It's almost like people that hold on to money like that. We hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we hold on to hurt, just like we hold on to money.
Well, Suppose God said, like we say, I ain't gonna deal with them no more.
Mm.
I don't even want them to speak to
God.
me. I've said it.
Ooh,
I've
Lord.
said it. I've said I don't even want them to speak to me. I don't even want to see them. I've said
Mhm.
all of that. But
Mhm.
suppose God said, I'm gonna hold back your blessings because you did this to me.
Mm.
So my point with this is, if God forgive us, should not we forgive?
Yes, we should.
If God can forgive us,
He throws it into a sea of forgetfulness. We should be able to do it too. It's hard to
then
say that
yeah,
part
yeah,
for us,
it's very hard.
but he can do it. And if he can do it and gives us a chance after a chance, then yes, we should be able to just throw that one time away. But you know, I'm gonna say this, Loretta, and the reason when you got on that, we do it.
Mm,
And at the end of the day, we do things that hurt God over and over again. And
mm,
we got to realize people are going to do the same thing.
mm,
Sometimes it's in their nature, but
mm,
they don't realize they're doing it.
mm.
They don't realize some people just like to, a lot of people like to talk, to have conversations in the background, not knowing that it gets back. And when it gets back, and you're like, okay, that's why you acting that way. That's why you did this. Okay. But then you're looking at them like, I forgive her. I forgive her. That's he say, she say. I forgive her. But then when they come in your presence, you see their, what's the word? Their behavior showing that what you heard is pretty much true. Pretty much true.
Oh, I did not know you lost your son, LaTracy. I did not know that. My condolences and my prayers to you.
Prayers to
I'll
you.
get in touch with you. I'll inbox you when I get off. If not tonight, in the morning. Okay, we're praying for you.
Amen.
Um, Miss Margaret said, yes, we should. Amen. Now, because you forgive somebody,
Mhm.
that does not mean you got to bring them home and y'all eat steak dinner together. You can
Oh,
forgive somebody
not
and you
doing
can really be at peace with them. You can see them, you can speak to them, hey, how you doing? You can be nice. Just don't have that grudge in your heart. But you can forgive, because some people when they betray you, some people when they hurt you, they really do um hurt. It really does hurt some people.
it.
Some
Hmm.
people do it intentionally. And it's like you said, some people do it unintentionally. Some people hurt you and don't realize they hurt you by the things that they say. They don't think there's anything wrong with what they say. And they're
Hmm.
just having conversation, but it's something that somebody else takes and feed with it and capitalize on it. And then when it gets back, it's all turned around and it throws you for a loop because a simple conversation turned out to be a mess.
Yes. Yes. And
A
I've
simple
experienced some,
conversation.
yeah, a simple conversation. I experienced that about a couple of weeks ago, and
Mhm,
a young lady was talking to me. Oh, she's older than me, but she was talking to me, and she said some things, and I don't know if I was in a place, mentally, I was in a place that wasn't with the extra hoopla of all some of the stuff that she was saying, and
mhm,
she said something that kind of stepped on my toe a little bit. Like really, did she just say that? And I my mind, that's that negative energy. I don't have time for it. And I
mhm,
dismissed myself from that person for a couple of days.
mhm,
And they actually called me and said, Can we talk? I said, what's wrong? I think I said something wrong, and I had to backtrack my own conversation to
mhm,
think, did I say anything to hurt you? Because I noticed
mhm,
that you got distant after it. And I said, yes, you kind of did. And she said, the
mhm,
next time I say something to me, I don't care where we at, stop me from talking or say something to help me to understand that I said something wrong. Even if we're in a crowd of people, just kind of give you a signal, a sign or something. And I appreciate her for that. And now
mhm.
I can go by, and I go by once in a while, and I still feel distant from her because some people do have conversations that just seem to me is messy. And if I feel you just messy, you just you. That's your persona. You just got a little messy way of doing things, and I just kind of stay distant. But I go on my personal time and have a conversation, and it's all good. And I'm gonna
Well,
say this: sometimes I go to people that hurt me after I've spent time to say I'm not hurt by them no more. I go around them sometime or be in the presence of them sometime just to see if I'm really over it. I test myself.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to test,
Yeah, I
because if
test
you
with
can
my.
go around that person and that person know, and you know that that person has done everything that they possibly can to you, that's
Mhm.
a good way to test. Now, Mr. Harry, what I want to ask you, you said whatever you create for one another, that creation belongs to you. I want you to explain to me what you mean, because I don't quite understand that, if you don't mind. Good evening, Miss Martin. I
Mhm.
was too. Hello, Valley Val. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. But we all get hurt. It ain't nobody, from the preacher all the way down to the congregation to the person in the street. Ain't none of us can say that we have never been hurt. Ain't none of us can say that we ain't never held a grudge against somebody. Ain't none of us can say that we ain't never had unforgiveness in our heart. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there, and I told God I ain't forgiving them.
Mm.
I ain't gonna forgive them. I'm done. I'm done. And
Mm.
and I meant that. But then after I get over the initial shock, and after I have my pity party, and after I have my way, then I let God have his way.
Mhm.
Let me explain what I just said to you so you won't get it
Yes,
wrong.
order.
There's a difference in forgiving somebody and trusting somebody. You can honestly forgive a person, but forgiveness and trust is two different things.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
can forgive you, but am I going to trust you again? Am I going to trust you with that might end up hurting me?
Yeah.
Am I going to do that? Now, if you don't think that there's a difference between forgiveness and trust, then look it up and somebody put it in the comment stream what the two mean. But there's a difference. You can forgive somebody,
Mhm.
but will you trust them again? Will you trust them again? Now, I'm welcoming your comments. I'm welcoming your comments. Thank you for joining us, Shelley, Harriet, Deidre, Nicole. I mean, it's just something we have to look at. We have to look at that. And a lot of people, they damage you. They do things to damage you. Um, I'm learning to let grudges go. That's good. That's real good. We all have to learn. It's not worth it, because it'll hold you down. It'll block your own blessings. It'll block those things that you've been praying for, that God is about to give you that breakthrough. And then here goes somebody that hurt you, and you're going to hold a grudge against them. Well, you know what? You got to say, do like I do. I do it all the time. Hey, Patricia, God, I don't like what they did to me. God, I don't like what they said to me. I said, God, I don't even want to see this person right now, because what I have in my heart is not right. And I may say something that's not, Christ like, that I can't take back, because we do know that we can't take words back. We can't take words back. We can say, I'm sorry. And you can really mean that. You can really mean that you're sorry, but you can't take those words back. So what I'm learning, because Dana, I'm a very outspoken person,
Yes, you
but
are.
I'm learning, and I was telling somebody today, and I'm learning, Debbie, um, to choose my words.
Yeah.
Choose my words. Because
Ooh.
when I choose my words, I don't have to go back and eat them words. I don't have to go back and eat them words. And I cannot get up here on Facebook or these social media sites and tell you that you need to forgive if I got unforgiveness in my heart. Because if I do, then I'm being a hypocrite. So that's why I wanted to talk about this, because we all have areas that we need God to fine tune us in. We all go through things that in life that we could prevent some things from happening if we just listen to God. Now, forgiveness, plural noun, forgiveness, the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. She is quick to ask for forgiveness when she overstepped the line. Thank you, Yolanda.
Now, that's a good one.
That's real good.
Yeah, because imagine that. Just
Sometimes
imagine.
it's so hard to forget those people that hurt you, even if you forgive them. It is hard. It is very hard.
Passion.
You want to forgive them, and you do forgive them. But see me now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I stand to be corrected. I'd have no problem forgiving, but I'm just not gonna trust you no more. That's just the bottom line. I will forgive you, but I'm not gonna trust you. I'm not gonna tell you that my dog is laying here listening to me, because you lost that trust when you betrayed me. You lost that trust when you did that to me to hurt me. You lost that trust. But I have forgiven you, but you just cannot get back in my heart where you was. Now, unless God tell me, Loretta, you wrong, that's just where I'm at. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Now Harry explained himself right here. He said, if you create bad feelings, you created it. Okay, if you create bad feelings, you created it. If you create good feelings, it does belong to you as a creator, that we all are in God's image. Do you understand what he's saying?
So we are co-creator. I think Alexa say we're a co-creator of our feelings. If you create good, okay. If you create bad feelings, you created it. Okay.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. If you create bad feelings, you created it. Because that's something that if we're embedded by Christ, we would never have that bad feeling. We would never have that bad feeling. But as a person, we create the bad. We make ourselves upset and all overworked with anger or being upset like that. We do it. That's not something that's natural. It's because I'll say that because of Adam and Eve. That stuff happened back there. We always go back. You always said 30 years ago, we had to go back to the beginning. This is where it all began. If we never had that bite of the tree of life, that tree, that forbidden tree, and had that tree of life forever, we would never have these bad feelings. But right now, we have the choice to have that bad feeling or not. We have a choice.
Okay, Mr. Lee Smith said, I do it all the time. I let go and let God. Well, Mr. Lee, I ain't quite got there yet, so I need your prayers. Like I said, I can forgive. I don't have a problem forgiving. I really don't have a problem forgiving. But that trust issue, because I feel like I tell my people who I deal with, I said, I'll be loyal to you. I said, but and I'll give you anything that you want if I can. But don't be disloyal to me, and don't put yourself in a place where I can't trust you. Because if I can't trust you, then if you have no trust in a relationship, what do you have? Pastor Ellison said you have to protect your own peace.
Oh, yes, that's
Absolutely.
it. That's it.
There's what Harry said. You own it. We do. We can create. We can choose to be in that position. We can choose to wallow in pity party, or we can get up and we can move on.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Eva.
Hi.
What do you say about that?
Now, you're right, because I was talking to an older gentleman at my job. He's 75 years old, get around like he's 25. And he was always saying, they said, well, where's my stick? Where's, supplies? They can look for supplies. And I said, I'm so sick of people moving my stuff around. He said, you know what, Dana? He said, I get mad about it too, but I just go get me another stick. That's how I get past it. I don't have to worry about being upset because everybody bother my stuff. And I'm looking at him like, I know you're upset about it. I know you're upset about it. And he said, I used to be like that when I was younger. He said, but y'all got a long ways to go. He kept saying, y'all got a long way to go. Because if y'all just realize you're killing yourself by getting upset for something that sometimes you can't change about other people.
God, dog, I don't know who Harry is, but he own it. He said loyalty is an attribute, and so is anger.
Yes.
Oh, he own it.
He own it.
Martha said, once you lose trust, you have nothing. What do you have? What do
Ooh.
you have?
Yes.
If I can't trust you, hey, Leonard from Los Angeles, if I can't trust you,
I can't
what
do
am I going to talk to you about?
it. The
If
weather.
no, you can't. I can't even talk to you about the weather because I might say the sun's shining, you might say it's snowing. You know, you might say, tell somebody I said it's snowing. I don't know, like I said earlier, if I do it all right or not. I don't know if I do it all right or not. But if God convicts me, I told the story last week how I was upset with this particular person. Hadn't seen this person in years. And when I went to Team of Joy anniversary, I saw them and they spoke to me. And when they spoke to me, I spoke to them very dry, nonchalant, and kept going because I didn't want to speak to them. I did not want to speak to them because I remember what they did. I went in the church, sit down, and God told me exactly what to do. And when they came in the door, I called them over to me, and that was settled. It was time to let that go. Why was I still holding on to that? Why was I still holding on to that? Why was I still holding on, lifting holy hands, enjoying the singing, and spoke to that person like I spoke to that person?
That's anger. That's
God dealt with me, and I had to be obedient. Sheila said, pray for strength to trust again. God do it for us all the time. He does. He does. He does. He really does. Pastor Ellison said, trust is the glue that holds relationships, friendships, kinship, and marriage.
Ooh.
Ooh. Trust. Trust.
Ooh.
And that, woo, you're supposed to let go and let God. We are supposed to let go and let God.
Yes.
We are supposed, but we are human flesh. It does not give us an excuse to hold anger. It doesn't give us an excuse to hold grudges or unforgiveness, but we're flesh. And what I do, I say, God, please don't let me see that person until I can release some of this anger. See, I talk to God. God already know how I feel. I can't hide how I feel from God. I can't hide nothing that's in the inside. And that's what we fail to realize. We try to hide things from God like we try to hide from people, knowing that God knows everything. He already knew that that person was going to betray you. He already knew. He already knew that. He already knew that what that person was going to do to you.
And he allows them to come before us just to test us.
To test us, because the Bible said, how can you say you love me whom you never seen, and you hate your brothers and sisters whom you see every day?
Yeah, he tests us. That's a test.
Harry says self-discipline is self-awareness. But that is true. But here's the big question behind that statement. How can we discipline ourselves if we are never aware that we do anything wrong? You got some people, Harry, that think they never do anything wrong. They always think it's somebody else. They never think it's them. They always say they always say help them. You heard them people in church. They won't say help us. They'll say tell them, Pastor. Tell them. Tell them, Pastor. Well, what about us? We got situations and circumstances in our life that if our life was an open book, and we could see the grudges and the hate inside of us, we wouldn't have no time to point fingers at nobody else. Pastor Ellison said, when I let go and let God, I let the ones I can't trust go. Oh boy.
Okay.
All right now.
I got you.
That's just about it. That's just about it. That's just about it, ladies and gentlemen.
Because we ain't got to deal with them no more. That's
we
it.
We really don't. We
ain't got to deal with them no, so we letting them go too. Yes, you're right. Now, that's a good one there.
Martha said, I talk to God as well. That is how I have gotten this far. Yes. And Harry said, it's easy to blame others than to look at ourselves. That's why people do it. Lord, have mercy. Brother Harry, you putting us some nuggets up here tonight.
Yes, you are. I'm going to go back to this one.
Because we need this.
We do.
We need this. Not they, but we need this. But when you find a person that's never wrong and it's always somebody else, you need to let that person go.
Mhm.
You're always the one that's wrong.
Mhm.
They're never wrong.
Yes.
You're always the wrong one.
Mhm.
They are always accusing you of things that you've done.
Woo-hoo.
They don't ask you, did you do it? They
You're right.
accuse you of things.
They give
So
you everything.
if you think somebody is guilty of doing something,
Mm.
instead of accusing them, why not ask them? Just ask them,
True. True.
did you do A, B, C, D? Not you did that, because that hurts.
Mhm.
When you accuse somebody of something and they are not guilty, it's, to me, it's like you taking slice of tomato
Mhm.
and then you slice it again and then you slice again. That's how my heart is.
Mhm.
Ask me, did I do it? Loretta, did you say this? Loretta, did you do this? Loretta, why did you do it like that? You will lose me real quick if you accuse me and I ain't wrong.
I learned back a long time ago that people gonna say stuff and you ask them, the first thing they want to ask you, who told you that?
Who told you that?
So what I do, and when I bring the person that told me to the person, or call them, put them on three-way, hey, we all here together. Now, what was said again? So that before I get angry at this person and they don't even know what I'm upset about, can you help me out with this conversation? And then it all diffuses. Now I'm upset with both of y'all because y'all still talking about me. Number one. Number one. Number two, you twist the story around. So I done lost all the trust. Thought you was my friend trying to give me information, trying to make sure I wasn't in the dark. But you just made a messy situation.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's like both of y'all, I'm in question about both of y'all now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not mad at you because guess what? I don't, like my grandmother always told me, be mindful of who you talk to about your business.
Well, let me tell you something. I might forget some things. I might forget where I put my keys. I may be talking on my cell phone and forget where my cell phone is, but I know who I tell what. You know why? Because my circle is just that small. I don't even think I have a circle. So I don't have to wonder. You know, some people have to try to backtrack. Now, where was I when I said this? Where was I when I said that? Oh, I know what I say. And I know who I say it to. Because my circle is just, my circle is about, it's about like that right there. It ain't even close. You understand what I'm saying?
Get mine that way too.
And
Me and my
so
kids.
you, if you don't want to be caught up in a whole lot of stuff, watch what you say and who you say it to. And then you can pinpoint it.
Yeah.
You can
Narrow
pinpoint it.
Narrow it
You can pinpoint it. I've done it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what I like is I like to three-way call too. Now, let me try to think of a name. Oh, I'm gonna use Cam and Angel, my two dogs. Now, Cam said Angel did this. Okay, let's call Angel. Let's call Angel while we together on three-way phone. If they tell me no, I don't want to do that, somebody is lying.
Right there.
If it's not true, don't say it. You're absolutely right, Debbie. If it's not true, don't say it. A person can hear you. Okay, Dana, you and I, we deal with quartet. Okay, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we could be at a program. We could went outside to our car. One of the group members could have went out to their car, and all the person hear you say is "I love you."
Yep.
There's a difference between "I love you" and "I'm in love with you." But they take what they thought they heard and run around with it. Dana was outside with a man, and I heard her tell him she loved him. But how did you hear her tell him that? What was said before that? You know?
Did you hear the whole conversation?
Huh?
Did you hear the whole conversation?
Did
All you
you
heard
hear
was a piece of the conversation. Yeah.
that? It's more than that. Watching I'm on 5 different platforms, Harry.
Amen.
Tame the tongue. You're so right, Sheila. You're so right. We got to tame the
Yes.
tongue, but we don't do it.
Yes.
We do not do. And them people that say, "I'm gonna tell you something, but don't tell nobody."
Ooh. That's it right there.
You cannot get upset with them because you told it. You told it. I went through something recently, and at first I was upset. I was hurt. I was angry. And I don't know what else, depressed and all that. But you know, at the end of the day, when I got through all that, I said, you know what, Loretta? You fought yourself for sharing what you did. You fought yourself because there are things that we can't tell anybody. There are things in life that we can't share with anybody but God. I don't care how close that friend is. I don't care how close that sister, that blood sister or brother may be. There are some things we just got to keep to ourselves. The tongue can be like a two-sided sword. You're absolutely right. There's some things. So if you tell somebody something and you are told not to tell it, and you tell them not to tell it, and they tell it, who's really to blame? If you know it's something that could hurt somebody, if you know it's something that can destroy somebody, then why are you going to tell it? Pastor Ellison said, messy people can hear the whole conversation and still open their big mouth with lies. Well, I agree with that as well.
Whole conversation.
I agree. They can hear the whole conversation and hear it go back different. Every time. If you will never tell how it was said, that happened to me too. You will never tell how it was said. You'll dress it up and you'll say it the way that you want it said.
Add and take away.
Right. And that's why there's so much unforgiveness and holding grudges, because you know when it got back, that's not how, Dana, that's not how I told you. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I did not say it like that, Dana. Why did you twist it around? When I tell someone something I involve them in it, I would rather keep it to myself if I didn't want it to go any further. That's it, brother.
That's it. Just keep it to
That's
yourself.
it. If you don't want it to go any further, there are plenty of things that has happened that were actually good things that I absolutely had nobody to share with. It just had to let it take place, not because I don't love those people, not because I don't have a level of trust with those people, but to be on the safe side. Hold this one, Loretta, until it happens. Because everybody that lets stuff out of their mouth, it's not intentionally. It's just that some people can't hold water.
Yeah. Some people can't hold it.
Hello, Miss Strange. So tonight we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, unforgiveness, holding grudges. When do you let it go? That's what we're talking about. Overseer Danita Forbes, a listening ear can have a running mouth. Lord have mercy. Got to be careful who you talk to. Some people cannot be a refrigerator. They can't keep nothing. You're absolutely right.
Oh, Lord. Yes, sir.
You're absolutely right. But you know the thing, Overseer Forbes, we know that person can't keep nothing. And over and over and over, we tell them. Over and over and over, we keep telling them stuff and digging ourselves in a hole. And then we get mad with that person when we're really the one who keep telling them. And we know that they can't keep nothing. We know that they can't keep nothing.
Oh,
we know that they got a running mouth. And we still tell them. Why? Why do we do this? Y'all help me. Why do we do this? Because we like that person? Because we say that person is our friend? You know, why do we do that? I got some family members that I won't tell nothing. It's not because I don't love them. It's because they got to run their mouth.
Yeah.
Harry said, grudges keep us bound to not being the best we can be. Let go and let God. I tell you, it bounds us. It hurts us. It puts us in a place of bondage. You know, because we think everybody's going to be like that person was who hurt us, who betrayed us, and everybody is not like that. But it makes us. I probably shouldn't tell this, but I just ain't gonna call the name. But I have this friend, and I said something to him. We were talking on the phone, and he said, "Don't judge me because of a past relationship."
Mm. Mm.
He said, because that's not fair to me. He said, you need to get to know me and not judge me on past relationship. How many of us judge other people on other people's past mistakes? Yes. I think that'll preach, Overseer Forbes. Pastor Ellison, I think that'll preach. How many of us do that? We are prone to run to familiar, need to break soul ties. But Overseer Forbes, so let me ask you this.
Come on then.
It's really not that easy to break ties with people you've been friends with for years. So break that down for me. We've been friends with them for years. And we know that it's time to break ties. We know it's time to break ties. God has dealt with us. God have told us to break ties. But we don't want to break ties because we've been friends with that person 15, 20 years. True. Help us out, Overseer Forbes. Brother Harry said, judgments are our own standards. Judgments are our own standards. Wow. This is good tonight. If it ain't good, nobody else. It's good to me.
Me too.
It's helping me. Because, okay, let me see what she said. She said, it will take time. Take the fasting and prayer. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Unforgiveness is setback for your blessings. Unforgiveness is setback for your blessings from God. If you cannot love your neighbor, then certainly you can't love God. Absolutely the truth. Hello, Minister Elaine Hopkins. She was supposed to be on that, but she had to work late. But she's gonna be on with me. I'm gonna get on real soon because she's from New Jersey. Very good, very good. Blessings to you and everyone. But tonight, how long will we carry it? How long will we carry? We done carried it 20 years. How much longer are we gonna carry it? How much longer are we gonna carry that unforgiveness? How much longer are we gonna carry that hate? How much longer are we gonna carry that grudges? She said, and sometimes it will take a heartbreak to break.
Yes.
Lord. Yes, Lord. You speaking.
Yes.
You speaking. But Overseer Forbes,
that's it right there.
The Bible said warning comes before destruction. When God tells you to do something and you don't do it, like God say, okay, Loretta, leave Dana alone, or vice versa, Dana, leave Loretta alone. And you know it's God said it. And he's confirmed it through prophecy. And I don't do it. Should I get upset when I end up getting hurt?
Yeah.
Should I get upset when he plainly told me, let it go, leave him alone? Should I get upset? No. Harry said, if you don't love yourself first, how do you know love? Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, my God. That's the problem with a lot of people. It's not that people are bad people that hurt other people. It's just that they don't love themselves. They don't love who God has made them. They don't appreciate who God has made them. Some people don't like themselves because they light skinned, some too dark, some too fat, some too skinny, some not needed. Whatever the reason, some people don't love themselves. They don't appreciate who they are. So they set out on making other people look bad so they can stand out and look good. Some people still mad when they leave this world. Oh, well, Lord have mercy on them. because if we want to see God and we want to really, we got to let that go. We got to ask God. I've been in situations I say, God, I can't let this one go. I need you. And I be serious. I need you to help me because I, Loretta, cannot let this one go. And I pray that prayer and talk to him. See, God already knows that's how I feel. He already knows. I can't hide it from him. So I need to ask him to help me because I can't let that one go. Love is a lot of God with us all. Amen.
Amen.
Darwin said, what if you never cheated and raised kids that wasn't yours and then have one but married until my daughter got in college but was paying $1,700 a month, but I still love with my heart. Well, let me see now. What if you never cheated and raised kids that wasn't yours and then have one but married until my daughter got in college but was paying $1,700, but I still love with my heart.
In love, he says.
In love. I need somebody that's married to answer that because I ain't never been married, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that one. I can't answer that one. I need a married person to answer that. Overseer Ford said the snake bites you the first time. It's the snake's fault. Second time, it's your fault. That's what I say.
I want you to know it was a snake.
If he bites you one time, is he gonna bite you again? Now, Overseer Forbes, you done open up a can of worms. Yeah. So, are you saying that we can't, if we trust a person and they betray us one time, that they can't be honestly sorry, and they're gonna betray us the second time? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that some people are not really sorry when they hurt you, when they betray you? Or is that what you're saying? And are you saying with everybody, when they hurt you that one time, you should not give them another opportunity to hurt you? Explain that one to me. Because I want to know. Because all of us deal with trust issues, unforgiveness issues. All of us, the Bible said, know them that labor among you. You can know them and still ignore what God tells you to do. How many things God has told us, don't do that, and we do it anyway? How many times he told us, don't say that, and we say it anyway? How many times? So this is good. I want to go to heaven when I die. I really don't want to go to hell. I really don't. So I ask God every day, if there's any unforgiveness, grudges, hate, anything in my heart like that, to take it away. Because it's easy to get there, and it's easy to be there and you not know it's there until you actually see that person. Overseer Ford said you can forgive if they're sincerely sorry. I agree with that. Well, how do you know if they're really sorry? How do you know that they're really sorry? How do you really know that? How do you know a person is really sorry? Are they sorry because they want to get back in your life so they can find out other stuff, or are they truly sorry?
Yes.
Right, Dana, read that one for me.
If you get, okay, let me take these off. If you get distracted once and they get away with it, subsequently they think it's okay to do it again.
Now, I agree with that. And especially if you don't address it.
Yes.
Especially if you don't address it. Because some people do things to you and they don't think you even know. They don't even think you have a clue that you are aware of what they're doing to you. But then God's got you at a point where he say, don't say nothing. Now, that's hard for me.
Disrespected. Yes. Disrespect.
That's hard for me. When he say, I got this, Loretta, don't say nothing. I'm telling you, that's hard for me. It works out best for my good.
Yes.
But it's hard for me not to say, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They will change if they really mean it.
Yep.
Okay.
They will change if they really mean it.
If they really mean it. If they really mean it. So I'm gonna ask the Facebook Live crew and YouTube and all you that's on this other sites. Am I wrong?
Mm.
If you hurt me, I'm gonna do little things to test you.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do little things to test, and I always use this thing like going fishing. You have to throw the worm out there
Mm-hmm.
in order for the fish to bite.
Mm-hmm.
So certain times I throw little things out there to see how far to go. Things that really does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And some people fall right into it. I mean, it's just simple stuff. So my question is, am I wrong? Darwin said, raise four outside kids and mine. But when they all got older, things got different, and I put my all. But I'm sorry for being in love. And 10 years she cheated and left, and now calling to apologize.
Mm. Ooh, Lord, I'm yeah, I don't know about that though.
Overseer Forbes, Pastor Allison, y'all on here. I can't do that one.
Because ooh,
That's a little bit too deep for me.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna say it in a marital way. That's almost like somebody hurting you physically, like abuse. Can you forgive somebody after they've abused you? That's really what it's almost similar to me. Because I'm married, I can say that.
No, don't say that. Cause they explain that you're not talking about you now.
No, I'm not talking about me. No,
Yeah,
I'm not
you
talking about
explain
me.
that
But
because
I'm
see,
saying I'm married. I can say that. No, I'm not
they
saying
hear
I'm
what they want
abused.
to say. They hear
No,
what they want to hear.
yeah, they hear what they want to hear. But I'm saying that's like being a married person. If you feel that somebody's done this to you, it's like being abused. It's almost to me. It's in the same relationship to me. You hurt. You love that person, and they did this. You feel like you abused your heart.
Okay.
That's
Let's
like a
see
beat
what
to your
Mother.
heart. That hurts. That really hurts just to read it. Just like wow.
Yeah. Now
10 years later, 10 years later, they called for apology. But
yeah.
we at some point they met with to God and asked God to go to that person to ask for his forgiveness. We don't know.
Who was it? Hey guy. Who was it? Jose was told to go back and get the prostitute. I think it was Jose. Ain't it right, Overseer Forbes? I think it was Jose. Told to go back, and she went back out. She came, he went and got her. She went back out there, got pregnant. He took her again. Now that's Bible. So, what is this? Dean, what is that?
That's Dana Grant. No, you are
Yeah,
not.
she told me I'm not wrong by doing the test. That's what she said.
Okay. Okay.
Overseer Forbes said, as my book says, we all have to be healed from the inside out.
Trust the person.
It's an inside job. Trust the process. Trust in the Lord.
Amen.
Sheila said, Sheila told me to leave it alone. I think she was referring to me, leave it alone. Hello, Miss Linda. Minister Hopkins said, forgiving someone doesn't mean that their behavior was okay. What it does is that we are ready to move on, to release the heavy weight, to shape our own life on our own terms without any unnecessary burdens. Now, that is really, really good. That is good. Overseer Forbes said, salvation can set them free and they can be delivered. They can.
So they could have came back.
They can. This is the same thing. What you mean, Cynthia? This is the same thing. Hosea said,
yes, okay.
Hosea, yeah. I mean, you know, how many of us would have done that? Harry said, if they abuse you, does that show love and unity with you? Empathy, not part-time, but full-time. Wow. Overseer 4 said, forgiveness is for you and not for them. And we all have heard that and seen that.
Mhm. Wow.
But we do, sometimes we carry it.
Mm.
And it just weighs us down. I'm telling you, what I went through the first 3 months, January, February, and the beginning of March, it weighed me down. I mean, it weighed me down. It took every bit of the joy I had. It took strength for me to put one foot in front of the other. I laid in the bed just about all day. I prayed while I laid there and asked the Lord to help me, but it just took me because I never
Yep.
would have even imagined in a million years this person would have did that to me. Nobody wouldn't have told me that. Nobody couldn't have told me that. I would have fussed them out and might have wanted to find them too if somebody told me this person would have done that
Mhm.
because I believed in them.
Mm.
I believed in them just that much. So, I asked God to help me, and He
Mm.
did. He helped me, but it was a process because I can't afford to walk around here with hell in my heart. I can't afford to walk around here with unforgiveness in my heart. I cannot afford to hold grudges. I can't afford to do that because if He called my name tonight, I want to be ready. And the way things are happening, you leave home, you don't know if you're going to get back. You go to work, you don't know if you're going to make it to work. You go take that child to the bus stop, you don't know if you're going to make it back. The in between, we don't know. So it's not worth carrying grudges and hate and unforgiveness in our heart. We may not have time to say, Lord, have mercy. We may not have time to say, Lord, forgive us. We may not have time to say none of that. So the time is now. And if you're at a place, ladies and gentlemen, where you're finding it hard to forgive, this is something I want you to do. This is what I do with God. Because, see, I talk to God just like I was talking to y'all. Because I realize He knows everything about Loretta. Nothing catches God by surprise. He already know what I was going to be in last year. He already knew the situation I was going to be in this year. If He let me live, He already knows the situation I'm be in next year. Nothing catches Him by surprise. So that's why we got to trust Him and trust Him because He already knows. He already knows. So I say, God, and somebody told me, don't say that. I said, God, I just don't like Him. But I know, God, that I got to love Him. I know I have to love Him, but I need the God kind of love. I'm honest with God. Practice makes perfect in anything we do. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But it is just that, let me see what she said. Overseer Ford said the enemy will use what he knows discombobulated you and make you think what you are going through is spiritual, but
Mm.
not this. Some things are not God ordained, they are self inflicted. Oh my God. Wow. Darwin said, we divorced, but now she's trying to come back. And yes, ma'am, it hurts, but I'm not going back. But all the kids are grown and I'm paying college tuition for my daughter. But I forgave her for the hurt. But I'm afraid of letting go. I'm afraid of letting go and dealing with that pain again. And all of the children are on my insurance that I pay weekly, but we are not together because the kids didn't do anything. Oh God.
Mm.
Woo,
Mm.
Jesus. Mm,
Mm.
that's deep.
Mm.
Minister Hopkins said we need to let the past go because we can't change it, nor can we change the person. Letting go of the past creates space for something new, something joyous. Then you will experience a new sense of freedom. The joy of the Lord is our strength. I totally agree. Cynthia said,
Ooh.
I was married for 20 years and I was abused. And the last year of our marriage, my husband was going with another woman and she was coming to my house and picking him up. And she was working with me and she was messing with me. And he got enough nerve to tell me what she do. Let me see.
Mm.
And she-
Oh. Oh.
Cynthia, God bless you.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
mean, this is real stuff. I'm glad y'all are sharing. This is real stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Whew. Mm. I, Ooh, I got something I want to say because he keep nudging me to say it, but it's like I'm gonna say it because he keep nudging me to say it. So somebody else might need to be delivered from this too. I was molested as a child,
mhm,
and that person was close to me, of course.
mhm,
And it took me up until about 5 years ago because I
mhm,
was going, to write a letter to that person
mhm,
or email or Facebook, how we did it,
mhm,
and to tell them I forgive you. That person had to wait until I was last year before last. I was doing my morning good morning, Jesus, get up, good morning.
mhm.
Thing in the mornings, and he kept seeing me do it every day or however I was doing it. And he said, seeing you speak like you did, knowing that I know who raised you and know where you came from, I want you to forgive me. I
Wow.
want you to really forgive me. You said you forgive me, but I really want you to forgive me. I'm actually saying it out of my mouth to you to really forgive me. Yes, it takes some 30 to 40 years to get that forgiveness to go through 100%. And we can actually have conversations now. We have conversations, not face to face. We did it one or two times face to face during death. But when I see that person, I'm not fearful of that person anymore. I actually walk up and hug that person now
Mhm,
because it was a two-way situation. We
mhm.
both wanted that forgiveness.
Well, you know what, Dana, that's big. And see, and I've been in that situation too. And when you release it, you can walk up and you don't see what that person has done.
Mhm.
Because here's the problem that I have with some of the people who who are the church, not the building, but we are the church. Here's the problem I have. We think people can't change, and we always refer to their past.
Mhm.
God can change anybody.
Mhm.
God can change anybody. But I asked this preacher today, why do people hold on to people past? And people have gone on, asked God, got delivered, and you still have people that bring up people past. Why? Why?
People's like to see you miserable. Misery loves company.
And you hear people talking about God is a loving and he's a forgiving God.
Yeah.
God is loving and he's forgiving, but somebody come to do a reference check on you. Oh, Loretta's a nice person, but you better watch you because she did this 10 years ago. Why you have to add that to it? Why you have to add that part? You already said that she's a good person.
Mhm.
Why you have to go back 10 years? Everybody, all of us on here have done something wrong. Somebody did something wrong today. But we'll
But
go back to something 10 years
yeah.
that a person did, and we'll say, yeah, but you better watch them because they said she did this.
Mm-mm.
Darwin said, I am a man, and she blessed me with the opportunity to be with her. But when I was a father, before I was a father, before she blessed me with my only child, I love the children, and I'm going to keep doing that. I'm telling you, you are some type of a man.
Yes.
You are
God
some
bless
type
you.
of a man. God bless
Bless
you.
you.
God bless you. You are some type of a man. And I say, to God be the glory for you. I'm telling you. Overseer 4 said, the song says, a wonderful change has come over me. Lord, change my life complete. And he will do that, Overseer Forbes. But what about those people who won't let you pass along? You got people that won't let you pass along. You got people, you
Mm.
got people that preach the word. God is loving and forgiving, but they'll bring up that past of another person. And that's
Mm.
not right. That's
Yes.
not right. That's not right. We're not supposed to do that. God said when he forgives us, he will wipe our slate clean, and he will do that. But unfortunately, here's two things. A lot of times we won't forgive ourselves. And a lot of times we get upset because people will not forgive us. Hello, Brother Logan, how you doing? People will not forgive us. And they will believe hearsay and gossip before they believe the truth. They'll believe the hearsay and gossip, but they won't believe the truth. Then you have to let them alone, unplug them, disconnect the power, and letting go is a blessing. But overseer force, what about those that you're not connected to? They're just going on what they heard about Loretta. They don't even know Loretta. They don't even know Loretta. They don't even know Loretta's birthday. They don't even know Loretta where Loretta live. They don't even know if Loretta likes seafood or chicken. They don't know none of that. They're just going what they heard. So what I heard about Loretta, I'm going to spread that about Loretta, and you don't even know. That is not right. Minister Hopkins says, start examining those people who bring someone's past. My question to them is, what do you have to hide? Because I see your mask off and heal
from your shame.
and heal from your shame. But this is real talk.
Yes, it is.
How many people are not talking to people today, not because of something somebody did to them, but because of something they were told. The past is dust at your feet. Just wipe it off and keep moving forward. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. But this is something, remember, they are not a requirement for your life. I know that, Overseer Forbes. I know that. But how do you deal with those people? Do you realize how many people dislike people because of hearsay? Because of hearsay, and that person never have done anything to them. Never. But it's because your friend said that was a bad person. The person you associate with, and people gonna believe they close friends. That person that's your close friend said, don't deal with Dana. So you look at Dana funny, and Dana's did nothing to you. But because your best friend told you don't deal with Dana, then you're treating Dana funny. That ain't right. Those that love you sincerely won't believe the hearsay. That is true.
That loves you.
Yeah. That is true, but Lord have mercy.
The enemies that come behind them.
And I know, and I ain't just saying this, I had a girl sitting in the church beside me. And she leaned over to me. This has been some years ago. And she said, I didn't like you. I couldn't stand you. I couldn't stand to see you coming. Not because you did anything to me, but because of what I heard. She said, I want to apologize to you. That's what she told me in church. She said, I want to apologize to you because I haven't treated you right because of what I heard. Wow. And that's what she said. And that threw me for a loop because she sits inside me every Sunday. I'm laughing and talking with her and didn't know that she hated me because of what somebody else had told her. Mr. Hopkins said, they believe the gossip before the gospel. If they believe the gospel, they won't believe in the gossip, nor participate in the gossip. Listening is gossip also, you're right. Tickles ear, then the tongue. It's hard to tame the tongue. That's right.
Because eventually you're going to join the conversation. Eventually you're going to join in on the conversation.
Eventually you're going to join in on the conversation. I'm going to tell you something. I told somebody this. If you can sit there and listen to Tim talk about me and you don't defend me when I'm not there, you're not my friend. If you can sit and listen to somebody gossiping about somebody that's supposed to be your friend,
Someone asked me, Dana, how can you deal with people and they keep stabbing you back? All I say is the Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you. That's all I can give them.
OCL4 said, yep. But I learned that when I don't give energy to what they say, They will move on eventually. When they see you growing and glowing, God will allow you to start showing your strength. You grow through what you go through. I tell you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Miss Virginia.
What? Hello.
Dana said, I was shot by a so-called friend back in July. So I am on high alert
That friend zone.
in
He's on
that
my
friend zone. Lord have mercy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot that we have to go through. And we know we got to forgive. We know we got to forgive. We know we do. We can't carry it. But a lot of people have been sincerely hurt and damaged. You don't have to pull a trigger to kill somebody. You can tell a lie that will damage a person.
Hmm.
You can tell a lie, a dressed up lie that can damage a person. That can, what about those men who some women say sexual harass them, and that's not true, but they damage that person's reputation. Any seed has to break out of the shell before it reaches for the light. That's a deep brother here, boy. I'm telling you. But this has been good. And this is what I wanted all of us to do now is think about where we are, not our neighbor, not our sister, our brother, but where are we? Where are we with our forgiveness? Be cautious because some are friend enemies.
Yes. Enemies.
The vengeance is God, and He will serve the justice she needs. Whew. Yes. I'm gonna tell you something, Dana. There was a time I wanted to I said, God, I'm telling you now, I'm just being real. There were times, I'm not there now, but there were times when I said, God, just let me fix it this time. But thank God He didn't hear my prayer. That was a foolish prayer. But there were times when I said, God, just let me fix it myself. God, just let me fix this one. But I'm so glad that He fixed it because I would have messed it up and I would have messed myself up. I would have messed myself up. So as we conclude tonight, we've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. I want to say to you, let's examine where we are. If we are hurt, in your prayer time, go to God. He already knows. He already knows you're hurt. He already knows the things that's damaged you. He already know what people say about you. Go to God and ask Him. Say, God, I can't do this on my own. I need you to help me. Somebody wrote a long thing. Let me read this. And then I'll get off. Let me see. Yolanda says she has to work on forgiveness. Let me see. Where did she go? Yeah, she said, Yolanda, we'll be praying. We all have to work on it. Don't think because we ain't talking, we ain't challenged with it either in one way or the other. Darwin said, thanks for all letting me know I'm doing what I'm doing is right. But I do beat myself up thinking I shouldn't have been working so much and giving my checks up on payday. We attend the same church. I bought her to. But regardless of whatever, I still stand up for anybody that I deal with. And I'm going to cut a conversation short if they speak. And anybody that I care about, they are talking about me as well. Ooh, y'all go to the same church. Bless you, brother. God, you hold your peace and let me. God, you hold your peace and let me get my peace how I used to think. Yeah, I did too. I used to think like that. I did. Sometimes it's our fault. Association is the key. Be careful who you trust and tell your problems to. Not everyone who smiles in your face is your friend. Mistakes are lessons only when you learn from them. Wow. This has been good tonight. It's been rich. It's been enlightening. It has helped me, and I'm quite sure it's helped others. If you know anybody that's dealing with unforgiveness or been hurt or been damaged, share this video with them, not because it's my show, but there were some great comments some comments that I'm going to go back myself and study and ask God to help us, because it's easy to fall into unforgiveness. It's easy to remember the past. So what we got to do is just ask God to meet us where we at, and he'll do that. God is not like man. He's not going to consult your past to determine your future. He's not going to do that. If you ask God to forgive you and to help you, God, there were times I said, God, I don't want to forgive them. I just don't want to forgive them. But then that spirit took over me, and I said, God, I do want to forgive them, but I can't. So I need you to help me. See, I was honest with him. And that's the only thing you have to do. And remember this, God is not like man. He's not going to hurt you. He's not going to disappoint you. If you trust him, he'll bring you out. Felicia said, Amen. Thank you, Lord. I believe that. So, just ask God and he will do it. I'm telling you, I'm a living witness. I'm a living witness. He will do it every time. So until next week, be ye steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain, God loves you. He's a loving and a forgiving God, and he does not consult your past to determine your future. Be blessed.